dry and arid. So it just shows you the size of the United States. Huge. So imagine Las Vegas is behind there somewhere. So it should be arriving in precisely 1 hour and 2 minutes. According to LAX airport. And this has been one hell of a flight. 12 hours and 8 minutes. A bit much, really. Minutes away. So there's a few stories related to Hollywood, what it was, and there's one that involves Hugh Hefner, the owner of Playboy. The one I'm familiar with is the story of Alice Cooper and his relationship with Groucho Marx. And from what I know, Groucho Marx being an insomniac, Alice Cooper used to go and talk him to sleep until his cigar fell out of his mouth. But in addition to that, Groucho Marx asked Alice Cooper to assure him he would repair the Hollywood sign there after his death, which I believe Alice Cooper did. I think he put in about $21,000 into it. So that's an interesting story behind that, and I think it used to be Hollywoodville or Hollywoodland. I'll have to check up on it, but it's still there. And to the right of that is Anaheim, I think, where Disney World is. But that's the iconic sign that they've all seen over the years. I mean, Chaplin, the amount of people that have come here seeking fame and fortune. Looks like someone didn't want to be locked up anymore and threw away all the padlocks. Pure art. So most of these strikers have been out here since May, so they're seasoned picket line demonstrators, and they've given in to part of their demands, but now they're going the full way. So I thought I'd come down here and give them some support. Do you want to tell me a little bit about why you're here and what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, we're walking around in circles fighting for our rights and residuals.
Right, right.
We've been for a long time being underpaid and understaffed, well, for the writers at least, and in unsafe working conditions. And there's some AI rights and royalties that we need to hammer out.
Yeah, because I understand you won a bit of a victory yesterday with the Writers Guild. They won a rise. Any idea what rise they got? Was it 10% or 20%?
They got it was 5, 4, 3.5. So the first year for the 3-year contract, they get a 5% raise.
Wow, that's good.
The next year is a 4%.
So it's incremental thing. That's pretty good. So the remaining battle is just purely for the actors, is it?
As of right now, unless something terrible happens with the writers, they seem to be quite happy, and we're pretty sure that. I mean, I can't knock on wood.
Yeah.
It seems like everything's going to be ratified, but yeah. So we're only fighting for the actors right now.
Right. Well, I wish you every success because it can be a very exploitative industry. I mean, I've been it myself. Those at the top get everything, and the people at the bottom get nothing. So I wish you every success with your campaign, and it's good for the industry. The industry, people need entertainment.
Go Canada! Okay. My neck, my back, I need a new contract. My neck, my back, I need a new contract. My neck, my back, I need a new contract. My neck, my back, I need a new contract. Okay, one more. That's fun. And the rhythm's fun. Okay.
Different. The crows out here are slightly different to the ones in the UK. They're sort of smaller and make a different noise, like these two up here.
This is the California Mojave Desert.
Right.
That's what this is.
Right. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd want to be lost out here at night. It says there's no coyotes, but there's raccoons and snakes and things, and very high above sea level. So we're in the middle of California somewhere. I'm not exactly sure of the whereabouts, but it's way out in the prairie. Pinion Hills, and we're getting a guided tour of, so in the middle of nowhere really. I'm not sure what this is, but we're about to be told what it is or was.
Excuse me, tour guide. We're a-coming.
Yeah.
You could tell us what's going on.
So this was basically the previous owners had 96 greenhouses.
Right.
Most of the greenhouses averaged something like 300 plants per greenhouse.
Oh, right.
And between this and the other campuses, there was 106,000 plants.
How long ago did it fall to pieces, like?
March 10th, 2022.
Right. I'm not that long ago. No, yeah. Oh, God. It's amazing how quickly nature takes over, isn't it? You get it all growing back.
Well, you know, basically we've been developing land in Gallup and Wilcox, Arizona. So for us, you know, finding this much land where it was messed up enough that nobody else is going to find this interesting, but a bunch of movie makers, it's like, we'll play with this forever.
Absolutely, yeah. You could build a studio here, couldn't you? Or even small studios.
What we're going to do with 10 acres in the middle is just make it zombie land.
Right.
So I'm basically telling everybody, if you can do movies that, you know, are zombie-ish or whatever, that use this kind of stuff, come on campus and we'll figure out how to co-finance the movie. And basically our formula is, you know, every movie has state rebates that are available, which are in the 20 to 35% range in California. You've set all that up already? Yeah, and they're better in New Mexico where we're set up. In New Mexico, they actually have a program called a pre-employment training program where they give you 100% reimbursement on training, especially if it's going to natives. And then they give you FCAP, which is like an advanced placement type thing, where they will give you, in addition to 20 to 35% of the state rebate, they'll also give you a 50% reimbursement on new hires.
Right.
So we're looking at up to 85% reimbursement for the state in New Mexico, 35% here. And then over and above that, you have, you know, the Jobs Act that gives you a 100% first year write-off.
Right.
So we work with a bunch of institutional groups where we can discount the rebates, discount the tax breaks, and then what we do is the balance of bringing the budget up to 110% of return for the investors. So we provide, because we are a tribal group, kind of like a tax-free municipal bond, except it's a tribal version. So we give the 35% state, the 37% federal, and then we can do another 38% in terms of a tribal bond, because as we build a backlot of standing sets, every time we build stuff, it increases the dirt value of what we're doing. And even if it didn't, but it does, but even if it didn't, on the 4 corners, we're going to designate 5 acres each, so out of 77 acres, nobody will even miss 20 acres.
Yeah. So it could be sort of multitude thing, a studio, it could be for horticulture.
But what we're going to do is
about healthcare, right?
The 4 corners are going to be homeopathic, naturopathic wellness center. And when we do this is something that the tribe takes very seriously. So, for example, there were a whole bunch of people in the country that had fear of a certain vaccine. And instead of the vaccine in our location in Las Vegas, we were doing the plasma instead of the vaccine.
Right.
I see. We treated several hundred people. We had no recurrences. We had no fatalities. So
that's amazing.
So with our independent review boards of clinical trials,
plasma, what blood, plasma, or right.
So was it the plasma, meaning people who had the pathogen already, or
we would take the pathogen, we would put it in their blood sample and put it back. Put their blood with the pathogen back in them.
Right.
Or so not the pathogen, but the antibodies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Because there's a lot of trouble in the UK at the moment. They're taking AstraZeneca closed down. There's families taking out civil proceedings against Pfizer and others. It is happening. And
so we have a whole. We're tied into a group called the First Nations Medical Board.
Right.
And the guys that run that are affiliated with us. So the idea was we were going to do the homeopathic, naturopathic clinic as part number 1, an assisted living memory care type facility is number 2, kind of a retreat quiet center 3, and then a rehab thing 4, and that was going to be the 20 corner acres, so 5.
Right.
And then we were going to take back, and there 10 acres on that
wow,
side.
Wow.
And we're going to be doing a data center
So
there.
the whole thing's very alternative, like alternative studios and everything. It's,
So the whole middle,
sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah. So you catch us up then? Or yeah. Okay. Yeah.
First year. Were you a theologian? Yeah, I'm a lawyer and I have sociology.
Got a lot of work to do.
We have a bunch of polymaths here, which is
So believe it or not, a lot of this was they'd legalised cannabis here, cannabis growing plants, which would be illegal in the UK. Oh, God. And this has only been closed down since 2020, I think you said. That's like World War III has already happened. She's just gone to the restroom, so she's coming back.
It's very interesting, but
Fascinating.
I think at my stage it's beyond me.
I mean, do you see that in Mexico? They reckon they've got the body of an alien, an ancient alien, and they put
I read
it.
about
See that?
I'm more of a go see it, shoot, and do it. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, anything
that feels like a commune. That's just how I am.
Yeah. Anything that feels too
different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. I'm not thinking big budget movies.
Me neither. No. I mean, some of the best films ever made have also been low budget. You know, it doesn't have to be.
I like my privacy, my thing. I'm not a commune kind of guy. I don't know if you are, but
not what sort of guy? Commune. Me neither. No. I mean, the Blair Witch Project was on a very limited budget, wasn't it? Going around. I think they filmed that in New England or somewhere.
Yeah, that was an odd. I meant those. That was an odd project, but they made it work.
Big. Oh, indeed. Yeah, it was good.
I just like to play my character, do my stuff, like you saw.
Yes.
Fun.
And it worked very well, I thought. See the movie. Was it Emily? No.
Yeah, I
Emily.
can't wait to see
Great name.
your movie. I'll
Indeed.
We'll keep in touch.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Everyone's not into it. I'm more a philosopher, poet.
Right.
You know, I have a different.
Yeah. Me too. I'm not. I don't really like high flyers. I'll be quite honest. I don't. Life should be for living. You know what I mean?
I get scared sometimes with these big things where all the finance write-offs comes back. And creating all that. Like, I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but I'm saying I don't understand all the legal.
No, it's land law out here. I don't understand at all.
He's a landlord, like, too.
Yeah. There's obviously something pretty big here.
Laser conspiracy.
So my friend, those are there called Joshua trees, and the only place he's just said is here and in Israel apparently.
Or in the Middle East.
In the Middle East. All right. So how did they get into California?
Space.
Oh, I used to love that. Jews in space.
What Jewish? She goes. Don't forget about the Jewish space lasers that are trying to kill us all.
My parents' house.
Who was that again?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
One of these parties is not like the other ones.
No, one of these things doesn't belong.
Jewish space lasers. Whatever next.
If you're ever worried that you can't achieve your goals, just remember that she is
right. She is like holding us all hostage right now.
Who was she or who is she?
Well, she is in the House of Representatives of the United States of America.
Dumbasses in the
Really,
world.
and I don't mean this to be disparaging about
She's
mental
just stupid. Like, she's governing our country in the minority. Like the minority of the minority is essentially controlling what the country does right now. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And do you know about the Jesus face theory that she was
Jesus face? You say?
No,
the
Jewish
Jews in
laser
space.
theory.
That was Mel Brooks.
There were some fires that
It should be a Mel Brooks movie. This was actual.
It honestly should. Yeah. There were some fires that happened in like the San Fernando Valley a few years ago.
Wildfires.
And there were wildfires, and she honestly was going around saying like there were Jews in space in a spaceship that shot lasers down to start the fires, and she's dead serious.
Could be true, Joe.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking.
I went to my doctor.
She should be in a mental hospital, shouldn't she?
I went to my doctor shortly after that theory like came out, and
she's
like,
in the.
Sorry, I could have just lasered away your like.
You say this person's in the U.S. government?
Yeah.
She's in the United States House of Representatives, which is the lower chamber of our Congress, which is like your parliament.
And she's got to think about Jews for some reason.
Well, she's Donald Trump's horse's mouth ass. So, so she basically does and says anything she can to antagonize people, and get people to buy into this crazy conspiracy level stuff.
People fucking do.
Howard Stern should have her on his show, shouldn't he?
Howard Stern would have a field day with MTG, but the thing is, every time we say her name, like I just did, that makes her value of her stock go up. So even though she's saying these crazy stuff that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and there's no proof. That's the thing. There's no proof about any of it. What they know, and DT knows as well, that every time you say their name, the value of their stock goes up because any publicity is good publicity, including bad.
Yeah.
So that's the issue that we're dealing with. You're literally dealing with people who are very savvy at saying inflammatory things that create media bits that get replayed over and over again.
Well, we've got us talking about it in the middle of the desert here today, so they must be doing their job. We're talking about it.
That's my point. And it's rather comical. Like, you can make good comedy out of it, except for the problem that they're actually screwing with people's lives and livelihoods. And there's a lot of people who maybe haven't read a lot or are reading only one source of news, and they hear this stuff and they buy it, you know. And I just really encourage people.
Some people actually believe that, actually. That's a scary thing, isn't it?
But I encourage people who follow me to don't just listen to what I'm saying, like take in a wide variety of sources of information, you know, so that you have
the same group of people who are also like do your own research as well.
Well, and they think that like just looking something up on YouTube is doing research.
Yeah.
You should do your own research, but your own research includes also listening to actual experts, scientists, you know, people who actually have demonstrated a broad understanding and have proof. That's the thing.
Holistic approach.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
like proof, and I think like one of the problems that we're dealing with is that in government right now, like, personalities are like, oh, I don't like that person, or I like this person. it shouldn't matter. Like, it's not a popularity contest. It's a matter of who can effectively do this work. I don't think anybody really wants to be in government.
We were talking about this if you've heard of like Andrew Tate, who will say just a bunch of like wild stuff, and they get like tons of views.
He's popular on this side of the Atlantic as well, Andrew Tate. He's popular, came out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's like kind of.
Did he go to jail?
Yes, he did. He did go to jail, but
Romania,
like, there's a ton of people who still think that he's like not guilty, even though there's a bunch of like evidence that would suggest otherwise.
You can think that,
but like people will say just like outlandish stuff, just like men are the superior sex than women, just like really outright like just horrible like misogynistic stuff, and they have people who are following them, like really young people who are starting to like kind of go down that path.
Impressionable, you're impressionable.
For sure,
people,
and it's just like it's not just limited to government; it goes down like to that side as well, which is like really scary. And like unfortunately, my TikTok algorithm has a bunch of people who come up because like I'm kind of doing the same thing, like adding stock to that because I can't look away because it's just like jaw-dropping stuff that they end up saying that I'm just like.
Well, I canceled, we're talking about social media, and there's a lot of things that are important about it, but what are your actual core values? I belonged to Twitter. I find it slightly useful. And then Mr. Musk comes along and buys Twitter. Okay, fine, he's a successful businessman. But then he fires all of the engineers who make the platform run, and he was just abusive to them. At that point, I just canceled it. I'm like, I don't need this. And I have a voice on other ways and other platforms, and frankly, it's not all about social media. Yes, it's an important tool, but what is actually the content that you have to say? The content actually is more important than what platform you put it out on. Believe it or not, that ends up being true in the long run. So certain things, I think that if what you have to say is important enough, it will get out there, and the medium, as Marshall McLuhan said in the 1960s, the medium is the message to a certain degree, but I think you can transcend.
Who was Marshall McLuhan? Who was that?
He was a media theorist.
A media theorist, right.
So the media is the message. And to a certain extent, he's correct.
It's true.
But on the other hand, like, if you understand not just one media, variety of media, and also just really craft the message that you're trying to get out there, if it's an important enough, long-lasting message, it will last and it will transcend.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, fascinating stuff, yeah. I never thought I'd be stuck out in the middle of the desert having a conversation like this.
It's kind of cool. Right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
But it's good. I mean, it's definitely, unless you're agoraphobic in a place like this, it's kind of a homely place, isn't it? I find,
I sort of think like when you get out into nature, and here we are at this abandoned hemp farm, or wheat farm.
Yeah.
But the sky is clear.
Yep.
Clouds are beautiful. The sun is shining. We're breathing fresh air, and we're having a nice philosophical chat. And we're not, I think, not trying to be on a high horse and say my way is the right way.
No.
We want to create a way for all people to find their way.
Yeah.
And that's what democracy, a functional democracy, really is.
Yeah.
That all people.
It's those two fundamental points, isn't it? Freedom from what and freedom to what. I think they're two philosophical questions related to democracy.
Kind of like something like that would be helpful, because like you can just like meditate in a place where it's just like nothing. But
my studio is completely soundproofed. It's a smallish kind of room. It's 500 square feet. It's totally soundproofed, and there's no windows. But there's so much stimulation from what I'm creating there, from media, film and music, that I'm plenty stimulated. And the temperature is perfectly controlled to 74 degrees.
Right, sounds nice.
But when I need to shut off, I can just turn all the lights off.
It's therapy, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's beautiful therapy. I mean, what's the California geography? Right here we're about an hour away. Well, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half away from the Pacific Ocean. But here we are, here in the desert with the Joshua trees. And this very flat, desert plain. Where, I don't know, I think we're probably about 2,500 feet, maybe even 3,000 feet in elevation here.
All right.
See what my
How high is that?
altimeter says. The altimeter.
Yeah, Andrew Tate's been in the news a lot. I don't know much about him, but he's been in the news in the UK quite a lot.
Yeah.
And basically controversy. Like a few years ago, you used to have that guy. What was his name? He got into trouble over here. He was a gay guy. Oh God, what was his name? Strange name, Milo.
Oh, Milo. Yeah.
About 5 years ago, and now he's just disappeared.
Yeah.
He's just disappeared. A strange guy.
Yeah.
Milo Janofodic.
Yeah, there's some last name that's
made up, totally made up name.
Right,
Yeah.
So here we are in the Mojave Desert, and we're at this sort of plateaued elevation of 3,512 feet above sea level.
Oh, we're actually high up here.
We're very high up.
Wow.
So, and what's interesting about this desert, well, what makes it a desert is that the temperatures are extreme. Back in the San Fernando Valley, it was just like a 70-degree day, and here it's already probably, what is it, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the temperature's already down probably around 60, 55.
There's a very rare type of cactus that exists in Scotland, up in the Highlands, but we don't have deserts as such. But just saying how quickly the temperature's dropped out. In seconds, it's gone fucking freezing. Yeah. So it's not a place to grow orange trees or anything like that, is it?
No, I think you probably could.
Yeah.
You probably could, but you'd have to be careful. The problem is that it gets below. It probably gets below freezing.
Yeah. I think World War III has already happened. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Wow, it's going to get a little bit dark. So it's already becoming a studio.
Really beautiful town, lots of woods as you can imagine. You would have, it wasn't uncommon to see bags like this in people's front yards filled with leaves. Okay. We found out the pot house in a neighborhood because someone grabbed 2 or 3 of these bags and put it in with all the other bags, and we jumped in it like jackasses.
It doesn't go up.
Always goes down in the east as well.
It goes up over there, but it goes down over there. They're inconsistent. They got to talk to each other.
Yeah.
They're coordinated.
Yeah, God, look at that sunset. Wow.
Enjoy the sunset. It's AI.
It's AI.
Yeah. Just saying how quickly the temperature drops down here. In seconds, it's gone from hot heat.
Once the sun hits behind the mountains, you feel the cool.
Goddess.
And then there'll be breezes, and then it will settle down.
One of the few American barbecues I've been to, and how nice it is. Chocolate rice is nice. Shakespeare is still the master. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. It's timeless.
That's Robert Vaughan. Yeah, timeless. Yeah.
I'm going to get my windbreak when I finish my city.
Fascinating place. Yeah.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. Oh, so you could.
Great time was thanks to the Spanish, the French, the Portuguese, and the English of all.
Is that Hamlet or something? Is it?
Imba!
I say you could put a sign up there, New Hollywood.
The sun never smiles on the British Empire.
Where we've been right round, and they showed us all the Joshua trees and that, and it's a fascinating place.
The rice, it's delicious.
Yeah.
The rice.
There's the Pacific. So there's like a little town here as well as a sort of beachfront. Strange, a drone over there, see it? Taking. Stingrays. What is a stingray? Stingrays are brownish grey bottom dwelling fish found through June to September. They hide in the sand during the day, hunt for food at night. Right, fascinating. We don't get these in Europe. Suicide prevention helpline. The guys are fishing out there, really, look. This part of the Pacific is really nice, isn't it, between Los Angeles and San Diego?
So you guys have 15 minutes.
15 minutes, right. So this place we're at now is called Oceanside, which is just off the freeway between San Diego and Los Angeles, and we just noticed a sea lion out there, a great big sea lion.
Despite being in California,
And they get a lot of them in these parts apparently. And I was just saying to my friend here that in Scotland they get dozens of sea lions and colonies of them, and you wouldn't want to go up to them when you're in a bad mood. Just see if I can see it. Yeah. You see, is it there?
Oh, the name of the place.
Oh yeah. There it is. There it is. Let's see if I can home in on it. Okay. Just behind that bird. Gone down again. So that will frighten. There has been rumours of shark attacks down here, but not as much as in South Africa and Port Elizabeth and that coastline. So it's been a great day. Spent some time in San Diego with a friend I haven't seen for nearly 3 years, and we went for a nice lunch in a place called North Park, like very close to the Mexican border, a place called Tijuana. It's mainly Mexican down there, you know. There it is. There's one there. I see it. Yeah. I see it. It's just under there somewhere. It's gone. I never realised porpoises came so close inland.
El pronto va llegando pronto. El pronto va llegando pronto.
Now this place is interesting because it's where people go out on boats for whale watching, and we think we've seen one just there. So it shows how cheeky they are to come in so close. I'm just trying to see if I can still see it. They have to come up for air now and again. And I was just saying, believe it or not, a lot of people think that a whale is a fish. It's not. A whale is a mammal. Is it there?
Yeah, came up twice. But you have to stay quiet.
Yeah. It's under there in the boat somewhere. Maybe they get plankton off the boat or something.
It'll come up because of the boat.
So the place is called Berwick upon Tweed on the borders of England and Scotland, where you've got lots of seals. I think the occasional whale. You sometimes get octopuses along the rocks there. We can't really see any today. Highly intelligent creatures. My friend was telling me so. How much are you saying for a month?
The smaller ones, 1,000 for the
Yeah.
The bigger ones are like 2,000.
Yeah, there you go. So just to hire it for a month, you're looking at $1,000, and even then you can't sleep on it. Now, does that mean you can't even sleep on it if you're out at sea?
No, I mean you're out and about, but once you park it on the slip, you can't spend the night.
You can't spend. God almighty.
And they have security there.
Yep. Look at that sun.
We're trying to catch it, but the trees keep blocking it.
Yeah, just an incredible sun.
Time's up.